Hi, and welcome to Austin Threadcraft's beadwork instructional videos. I'm Henry, and I'm going to do a little technique to show you tonight on how to end and begin threads on bead loom work. Now, a lot of people just tie a knot on the first thread and start off that way. I don't do it that way, and I don't end it that way. I don't have any knots on the edge of the outside edge of the beadwork with this technique. Now, this is just a suggestion. You can do it any way you want. Whoops, hit the table, sorry about that. But I'm working on this headband, and I'm about to end this thread and start another one. I'll try to get the camera up here real close so you can see real good. Now, I'll show you how I end a thread. After I got my last row in that'll fit on that thread, I'm going to pull it through. Now, instead of just tying a knot here and clipping the thread, you'd end up with a knot on the end that's very visible. I always come back under the previous row of beads about a third of the way. See how it came out? You know, you can do it 3, you can do it 4, just about a third of the way. It doesn't matter how far. And bring it up through the bead and out the bead. Okay, and then you pull your thread. Now, that bead that you came out of right there, that silver one, see I'm on that silver one there, put the needle under just that thread. Make sure it's just the one thread that you're doing. And run the needle under that warp thread. Pull it back through a little ways. You got a loop there. I wrap it around the loop one time. Or 2 times, it's easier 1, and just pull it tight. Okay, so that one's tied. Now, come back through the next bead down, in this case a black one. Make sure you stay on top of the warp threads and come the other third of the way down. In this case it's about 5 beads. Pull it through again. And you do the same thing. You run your needle under that one warp thread. Make sure it's just the one thread, just like that. Pull your thread back out. You got the loop. Stick it through the loop and pull it tight again. It's real simple to do. Now you stick it down into the next bead and bring it all the way back through. You don't have any knots on the ends. It's not visible. Now, always pull it just a little bit. Make sure it's nice and snug. Now, there's no way that's ever going to pull out because it's wrapped around the thread, and there's just no way that thread will ever pull out. I've never had one pull out in many, many years. Now, grab the thread here, pull on it just a little bit, put a little tension on it, and snip it right there. And when you do that, it pulls it back into the bead, so you don't have a little tail hanging out either. You've got a very nice, neat ending. No knots on the outside threads. Now you get your next thread ready, so I got to go on to the next rows of beads. I only got about 10 rows on this hat band to do. So I'm threading the needle, which is always great fun. That little bitty hole. Get that thread in there. Now I use regular polyester sewing thread, and I treat it with Thread Magic, which is a conditioner, to make sure it stays subtle and soft. That helps keep it from aging. Okay, I got the thread all threaded. Now, to start the next row, you start down here on the bottom. You're doing the exact same thing as you did when to end it. Come up 3, 4, 5 beads, don't matter how many. Pull it through. You leave your tail hanging out. I leave 3 or 4 inches. Stick the thread under just that one warp thread that you just came out of, just like you did on the other. Now, on the starting, I wrap the thread twice around the needle. Gives you a little bit better knot, and you just pull it tight. I pull on both ends, make sure it's nice and tight. See? Then you stick the needle under the beads again, go up about so many, pull it through, stick the needle under that one work thread, and this one I just wrap it around once, and you pull it tight. Sometimes you'll get a little loop there. You pull it slowly, and I'd start out pulling it slowly to make sure there's no loops. If it starts looping, you gotta stick your needle in the knot, and you can pull on it and get it where it ties tight without having a loop of thread sticking out. Once you get that tied, you just put it right back through there, pull it through. You take your scissors again, put a little tension on it, snip the thread, sucks the little tip back down in there. You got a beautiful start and a beautiful finish. There's no knots on the outside work. All along the whole, I can't really move the camera much. Well, maybe I can. See, you can see this is a pretty long one. It's about 19 inches right now. If you look, it's very nice and neat along the whole edge. There is no knots that you can see. Now, when I'm ending one, say if I had ended one after I tied that knot, I will actually come back to this one, go about halfway in, tie a knot there, and bring it back through. That, gives you a little bit better knot tying. And you're ready to go. It's really easy. If you want to visit us, see all the things that I make, me and Rita, you can visit our site at sandrastitchstash.com. It's sandrastitchstash.com. If you click on like the jewelry link, you can come and see all our handmade items. I make a lot of hatbands, guitar straps, flute wraps. Starting to work on some earrings, trying to learn how to do that. They're a little more difficult. This is one of the earrings I did so far. Haven't got it posted yet because it didn't come out great. I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I got bracelets I'm making too. Beadwork. And I do other things. I've got some a bone breastplate up there, some feathers, pair of feathers, and I do make a lot of hatbands. I'll show you one that's on the hat here. This is my hat. Oops, there we go again. Hat with the hatband on it. I've got, I don't know, 15, 18 different kinds to choose from. Guitar straps, you play guitar. I've got some beautiful guitar straps and other things. So visit Austin Threadcrafts. We're on Etsy. We're on eBay under Sandra Stitch Stash. On both Etsy and eBay, plus our website at sandrastitchstash.com. If you need a good hatband, coming up on powwow season right now, come visit us, and we'll be happy to ship one out right away. I've got about 20 of them made up and ready to go. So all the designs that are on the website are ready to ship tomorrow if you're looking for one. So come visit us, and hope you use this technique. You'll get a much better looking loom work because you won't have any of those knots down here on that end. So enjoy, and y'all have a good night.